Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 4/3/2025. So I skipped my video yesterday. March wasn't a very good month for me, and it was my birthday month of my 50th year. I would have thought I would have had a good month, but I need to allow my life to unfold. I've been trying to push a little bit. I have been hard on myself, and that's not any good. That doesn't help things. So I've been trying to work on that. So I think that's part of my lesson. It really has been a lesson to me the whole month, because I needed a good month and I didn't get it. And so I had to deal with that. April has already been a better month. Like I said, I don't like to be sad. That's not something I enjoy doing. And I think that I need to work on not being sad, because you have a choice. Maybe that's what I was supposed to endure through all that. I think I did okay with it. I wish I could have held a better attitude a couple different times. And I wish I would have kept better posture in a couple different situations. But all in all, like I said, I think it's really important not to beat yourself up too much, especially when you haven't been doing well, because it's not going to help. Because you probably have other people that are already beating you up on their own. You don't need to do it yourself. I am much stronger than I look. I think I've found that to be true in my life. People often underestimate me, and then I overestimate myself, probably. Most people think that I think that I'm smarter than I am. I think that's a thing as well. I've talked about that before. I feel like that is something I have noticed. People treat me like they think that I think that I'm smart. It feels like one of those. And maybe it's true. Maybe I do think I'm smarter than I am. If I'm allowed to be free in a situation, I have found that I can be very entertaining to people. I've been in moments where I felt like I had good interactions in larger groups of people sometimes. Someone said yesterday that I look like Billy Bob Thornton, and I don't like Billy Bob Thornton. I don't want to be associated with Billy Bob, but I don't know. I smiled at him when he said something, and I gave him a look, and he said that's where it like sparked for him. And then he was like really floored that nobody had ever told me that I look like Billy Bob Thornton. I'm like, I don't know, but I don't really know what to say about that, other than I think I do have a striking face, and sometimes I have facial expressions that I could use it. I mean, I could probably be in like a play. I'd like to do that someday, but obviously my track record shows that I'm not that smart, and I'm not that good of a leader, because I've had several situations where there's been leadership positions that were needed that I wasn't even because of the way that I was living my life, wasn't even looked at. And I need to address that with myself, where I literally self-sabotage. But I generally don't line up, and that's what it is. That's my problem. I don't line up well. I never have. I mean, I line up myself pretty well. I am a team player, though, but I doubt I ever will line up to, like, there's just so many problems and because of that, I'm living a very non-conventional life. I don't really know how to explain it other than I don't conform times where I need to conform, and I'm flawed, so I have flaws that people can that are negatives. So you put that on top of me not being a conformist, and that's a lot of negative. So that's a lot of truth to who I am. but negative's not always bad. That's somehow all of this time I've had away from my daughters is I'm going to try to, I mean, that's really the result of all of this because of me not being able to adapt and play smart. I should be with my daughters right now, but I'm not. And I've basically missed their entire childhood. And it's really because of this, in essence, all the way through in all of my relationships. So, I mean, and it's not all my fault, but it is all my fault. That they literally, so I'm hoping that somehow me doing these videos, maybe, I don't know, it might hurt them. I don't think that they watch it, but someday they might, and that might have a, but who watches this stuff? I mean, I don't even want to watch stuff that's, anyways, like I said, a lot of times this is just psychoanalyzing for me, so this is going to be a really long one, by the way, so you might as well tune out. But that, I want them to know, like, if they do watch someday, that this literally killed me. Like, when you say you killed your ego, me being a father was what I wanted to be. And I've not been able to be that because of my failings, which is heartbreaking to me. Like, and I can't redeem that because I can't go back and get that time back. So what I want to try to do is transmute that pain into something that's worth it in the end. So I have to learn from the reasons that led me to where I am now, gain from that, and give it back somehow. People that have been very blessed in their life, and I've met a lot of them, that really had a great life from beginning to where they are, or and some have left this earth and had a great life the entire way. And they were blessed the entire way. Like, they had some bumps, but not real bumps. Not like not being with your children when that's all you really want to do. And the way that you can flip that is because it is my failings that is the reasons why I've been to where I am. But it is also the world around me that's allowed that to happen as well. So it's not just me. But it allows people to look at that and say, that's on you. And I would have never done that. But then they haven't been in your shoes. They haven't actually went through what you went through. So they don't really understand that it's the hardest thing for a person to do. So obviously it must have been really hard. But they can't empathize. Oh, forget it. About said the F word. I'm getting better about that. They won't be able to understand it because they've never really had to sacrifice. So they don't really understand sacrifice. And I think that's part of what this whole sacrifice Jesus thing is all about too, is Jesus sacrificed for you so you don't have to sacrifice. I actually got that as a core in a conversation that I had. And I'm like, I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to stand with you in that one. I think we all have to sacrifice. I think we're supposed to give up. We're supposed to bear a cross. That's what we have a cross to bear. That's part of the symbolism of it. But they think of it. I don't want to get into it, what the indifferent interpretations is, but that's where I lose my ability to communicate, because it's really important stuff. This is what people have been talking about for the beginning of age. Most of these people are really great people, but they don't understand what sacrifice means. Truly. Like, they don't truly understand it because they haven't had to. Really. And maybe I haven't either. I mean, but I've lived a pretty blessed life. But that is what the shedding of all earthly belongings is all about, though. I mean, if you really look at the core of pretty much every single one of the religions. You're supposed to strip it down and give everything up. Every one of them. Probably even Satanism. But I don't know. I think that's what, to fuel the pain of the seasons is the way you find the way. Suffering is how you find beauty. This is why the eye of the needle is so small. To pure beauty, you have to suffer. I don't know. So I guess what I'm trying to do here is I am trying to be an expression. I do believe words are very important. And this is where I got into it. If you've watched this far, you probably aren't into the Bible as much as, like, you're not core belief, because if you've listened to me long enough, you know that I've talked a lot about the Bible. And the big one for me is not just the Bible, but it's God, the name God. I truly do not think we should call our Creator by God. I think that's been part of it too. That's what's been lost, is that in the depth of my soul, I believe this to be true more than the Bible, more than anything, scriptures that we have, that we are not supposed to verbalize, because we can't. You cannot say, because we can't comprehend it. There are gods, and humans are part of the God relationship, but the God is the intermediary. So we can communicate and have some kind of expression with these gods, because there's Elohim, there's multiple. But above that is something that we can't comprehend. We can't comprehend it. We can't even comprehend what we see, let alone what it actually is, because we can't go there, is what the biggest portion of it is. We're not able to. We're not supposed to. We are here in this realm with the wolves. We can see the moon. We're not taking the wolf with us up to the moon. But good luck with that. I don't want to keep staying with that. But that's the crux of it, really. That's where you really get into a different type of mindset of what this is that we live in. And we should also not try to live forever. We have an hourglass. This is our life that we are. We're not supposed to try to live forever. That's going against what we live in, which has a finality to it. That's how important your life is. You're not supposed to try to live forever. That takes away from what this is. You can't live forever. Biologically, you can't. This thing that we're trying to duplicate in AI, you can't duplicate souls. I get this, so I get this one life as David. There may have been multiple lives before. There's a program for what this is, but I do have free will. I do get to express. If I remember who I was or where I'm going after I leave here, if I know that if I do a bunch of good things, I get to go to a good place, if I know that to be true, well, that takes away all of it. How can I possibly sacrifice if I know the game? Did Jesus know he was immortal? Did Jesus know he was the Son of God? So I know that he's feeling the pain, but why are you, what is it that you're crying about? In fact, actually, if you know that your death will bring salvation to anyone that believes in what you went through, I mean, that's a great way. Does your name live on after you leave here on this realm? Is that important to you, for what you have done, the people that have known you, to carry that with you? And how far does that carry? And is that important to you? Do you want your name to carry forever? Is that important to you? Do you want your child's name to carry forever? Does that mean anything? That's what I think a lot of people push for in their life. And what I would say is the names change. If I'm dead, what does it matter? Does it matter at all? A father provides. I failed. There you go. Nothing else really needs to be said. I've spent most of my life alone. I think I've screwed up pretty much every opportunity I've had in one way or another. I seem to struggle in groups. I didn't have anything left. I don't have anything left to prove to myself or really to anyone. I feel like I've really tried hard for the most part, and I have regret, but I think I've paid for everything that anybody that has children that had any time with them has got to understand that being away from your children, especially when it's your own doing, it's like the worst thing ever. You don't even get to carry any kind of herodom to you. Like if you go to war, you come home a hero. If you all kinds of different things that people have to go through. All I did was just have to relocate because I was desperate because I let my life fall apart. There's just nothing really that great about that. And I'd already missed out. I mean, there was a lot of time I missed with my kids before that where I was fighting to have time with them. But in the end, this is where we stand. So it doesn't really matter. And I'm not a boohoo. I think it might be all for the best for whatever reason. That's what I'm hoping, is that something from all of this is gained for each of them. That they, I don't know, that somehow I've done something that means something to them. But I've said everything pretty much on these videos that I have to say. I'm just going to keep trying to follow the way. And that could lead me to Minnesota tomorrow. I'm open for pretty much anything. I could be right where I am right now and keep moving the way I am. I think sometimes about what it could be like if it went really south, or why do we say that? Isn't the South warm? Yeah, I want to go south. I don't think my voice has much power. I thought it did, but I don't think there's that much for me to do. There's a lot of people saying the things that I'm saying way better than I am. So I've seen it out there. There's plenty of people, and I don't think there's a movement to be made. I just don't think there's enough people that can break away from having it structured for them. Like to change from the Bible to Elohim, just in that right there, people they can't. And they'll fight me for an hour and a half about Elohim when you're just like, why are we fighting about this? The big part of my problem is that it's the in God we trust also on money. Obviously, I've attacked money because I think the in God we trust in the Bible and the government, the tying of money to land and the tying of the money to your soul, I mean, not to your soul, but to your robes. The emperor has no robes. Is that what it is? There's a big Trump train going on right now. I said his name in the middle here. We're at 19 minutes, and I still got a ways to go. I'm sorry. This is going to be a long one, but whatever. I think it's going to be good for the next 4 years. It's possible, but I just put stop because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't even want to get into it. I stopped paying attention to politics a long time ago. All I know is they're talking about tariffs, and I was preaching tariffs like in 96. It was a big thing for me. I was like, that's what we need to do. We need to do tariffs. I wrote papers on it, I think. I may be getting a little ahead of how strict I was on it, but I definitely was I read a book by Pat Buchanan. He talked about tariffs, and I was all in on it. I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But looking back on it now, I don't know tariffs are still taxes, still taxation. And actually it led to some people said it led to the Great Depression, which I don't think it did, but that was the whole point of Buchanan, I think. And Ferris Bueller, there's a point of it in that whole movie where they talk about it. I'm just going to keep chugging along. There's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, and it seems like they are doing it as fast as they can while they still can. Like everything going on right now, there's a whole bunch of people doing stuff, and they're just going fast, and it's like pushing the momentum. Because I think the whole attitude of it is winners win, and it's winning time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And it's a lot of positive vibes, and we're in April of the first term. We're 3 freaking months into this. Holy Toledo. It's going to get crazy. What could go wrong? My mom used to say when the shit hits the fan. So when the shit hits the fan, just remember, today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Whatever. Let's get into it and have a good time. I could be in Minnesota. You never know. I don't know why I keep saying Minnesota. Maybe my soulmates from Minnesota, and they're watching this. That's the one person that likes it. I don't know who it is. They're from Minnesota, and they've been a long-lost person that's got billions of dollars. And they're just like, I like that dude. I want him to come live with me. I got plenty of money. Let's do that. Have a great day out there. Do great. Be great. No, I want to earn it. I think I have, though. Haven't I? Or have I not? Have we not earned?